Hi guys, it's Aegis here. Today I'm going to showcase a match of Genesis versus Gear Chronicle. Well, cause in between there's something that I need to speed up, so I think it's just easier for me to voice here instead of just put whatever recorded. So we can see Genesis this time is actually not bad in soul charging, but they also soul blast very fast. We see Mimine. She's kind of a good card, and well, now we have seen the speed up part, but just don't worry about it because we are just trying to find out what is miscalculated, but it's not the case. And with Gear Chronicle, it's very interesting this time that they put Grade 4 into the deck because I don't think they want the G-Zone to be back yet, which in deck balance, like the ratio balance, is actually even worse than Kagero because you need to have like 6 to 8 Grade 4s in the main deck. In Grade 3s you probably will only run the Lost Legend instead of anything else. So let's see. With Genesis they didn't get the first right, but Pleone is trying to do some good job. She's kind of great because you can look at top 3 and pick one card into the soul and put the other 2 on top of the deck. So if you know you're going to get triggers, then you can very well plan how you attack your opponent, and your opponent might just sometimes didn't know or didn't realize that you look at the top deck and you start to crit them and so. And now Neo card is going to do the skill, gaining great power, but the thing is she doesn't gain crit, so with your opponent only have 1 damage, she's just not that great. If you got Himiko on your first ride, then you can probably do a great rush and then build the advantage through there. So no trigger here, and another Grade 4 being hit to the damage zone, which is kind of bad, and 1 more damage again. And we quickly see what happens. G assist. Because you only run probably like 4 Grade 3s, which is kind of normal when you don't have any Grade 3s in hand and you have the G assist. And our friends are always like having fun talking about, making jokes about Gear Chronicle, that this deck is actually representing the G era very well because you do G assist with this a lot, and you're kind of doing stride. So now we're going to have the Lost Legend skill, which is kind of like striding, but it's actually a ride. Now Lost Legend counter blast 2 to draw a card. That is very helpful with Gear Chronicle with Force, because you always want to have more hands to build your field, and with guarding, even if you have a high defensive power. property worker. She is a must in the deck to recycle your Great Force, because you always need one in your deck so that you can stride or like ride. And now here's a crit. And he got a trigger back. So in the new set, I actually haven't get a chance to play Gear Chronicle yet. I've been playing Genesis, I've been playing Great Nature, because I built Great Nature and I just got a chance to use my friend's Genesis. And I first thought Genesis was like very good because their skill are crazy. Here we go, you can like get triggers just by soul blasting. You can have great power, you have the gauge system to protect your stuff, but in the end, when I actually play the deck, it's not really the case, and you really need to think a lot in early game on how you build up your soul, also with quality. And if you don't ride Himiko in your first ride, it's kind of hard because you can push your opponent early when they don't have that much hand. And now we go Himiko skill. So, which also involves some thinking. For example, in this case, your opponent is on 3 damage. It's important how you plan your attacks. In this case, we have so many options. For example, we can put 2 crit in V and 1 crit to one of the regard, or we can put 1 crit each and power each on each Vanguard and regard, so that they at least hit 2 damage. And also, as you put like a crit, then you can always still try to hit 3. This time we are doing that, put 2 crit in Vanguard so that we can 1 hit KO. Even though you've got PG, you still waste the PG. And because he looked his deck already, he knew he got a crit and draw. So he put all the power to the right regard and try to do a 3 damage again. Even though it got PG'd again, but because your opponent only got 3 damage and 2 is already used, so if you don't put damage to them, you can stop them to draw with Lost Legend. But of course, every time situation is different, so you just need to think of what you want to do and just no regret. So he decided to hit Vanguard instead, maybe because he's not very confident to get a crit back into the soul next time. So Lost Legend is going to call Ride Mystery Flare again. It's kind of interesting to see after you use Mystery Flare with Lost Legend at the end of the turn, mystery player will be retired and your right lost legend again, so you can gain a force marker, which is kind of a way I think the card developers are thinking to cover up because you don't gain markers when you ride Great Force, and you probably won't be rewriting Lost Legend that much because you need to toss him as a stride fodder. So they decided to give you a chance to put more force marker when you rewrite with Lost Legend after the Great Force is gone, which is making the deck a little bit more competitive because you can at least build your numbers right. You keep gaining power. So this time it's a 26k, 3 drive check and 2 crit. So it got PG'd. And we can see about the trigger. So there's a crit there. There's another crit there. And one more heal. So 3 triggers. It's crazy. 53k with Nabu. We got restriction and he got on heal and another heal. So basically turning this hit into basically hit nothing, and you can 20k power. So this one is a 45k attack. So he decided to kill every god. So Sahohime is a very very strong card, even though you need the Soul Blast too, but you will always have methods to reduce that. And like the Great Freeze, she also can get power from shield, but not double. From our conversations, I think the gear player doesn't have any more Great Force in the deck. So unless he got something to recycle, it's gonna be a hard match for Gear Chronicle. So using the Great One to bounce back a card, so he can use it again. She's actually very strong because she doesn't just able to recycle a card from your field to your hand. She can also pick a card from your drop zone directly put into the soul. So like if you use a crit to guard and you call her Counter Blast on and rest her, then you can put a crit from drop zone to the soul, which helps him recall a lot. So only 1 damage. Then we see another lost dungeon. $41 on Freddy K. So back to the gear player's turn. He got a lot of hands, so he's trying to keep recycling. And put one more away. Let's see, the total grade is 16 right now. 19 is kind of hard to do, and he's just throwing and got a crit. So that's the end of the game.